In a world where gaming is more than just a hobby, one brand has stood the test of time. With a history of innovation and a dedication to excellence, Thrustmaster has become synonymous with the ultimate gaming experience. From the first flight simulators to the latest racing wheels, Thrustmaster has been at the forefront of gaming technology for over 3 decades. And now they're taking it to the next level. Thrustmaster has entered the direct drive wheel market. I introduce to you the T818. With a focus on precision, performance, and immersion, Thrustmaster is redefining what it means to be a gamer. So strap in, grab your controller, and get ready to experience the thrill of the game like never before. I'm Shaun Cole, this is the Simpit, and today we're here to check out the Thrustmaster T818 Wheelbase. This is Thrustmaster's entry into the direct drive wheel market, and you have to be thinking, are they too late?
Bueller, Bueller, Bueller.
Are you a serious sim racer looking for exceptional power and a unique eye-catching design? Well, then look no further than the Thrustmaster T818 base. The T818 delivers 10 Newton meters of power, which puts it in the middle class in the direct drive wheel market. While the price tag may be a bit steep, coming in at $649, the T818 offers a range of features that make it stand out from the competition. One of the most distinctive features of the T818 is its hexagon shape with its 6 different sides, a little unique in the world of direct drive wheels, with 3 of these being made of metal and the other 3 being made of plastic. And while the plastic components might be a little disappointing, they are shaped in a cool way, sort of like cooling fins on an air-cooled motor. The top side plates come in gunmetal blue, and they can be swapped out for orange, black, or white ones for an additional $30. The T818 does have power controls on the side of one of the panels, as well as the connections for the power and to the computer on the back, including an RJ45 jack that promises to open up new possibilities for an ecosystem in the future. The back cover, the outer trim, the center ring of the hub portion of the front side are all made of that same plastic, but what separates those plastic pieces is where things get a little more exciting. The T818 has a cool metal mesh with hexagon-shaped RGB lighting that gives it a unique look that even gives it a Star Wars Death Star vibe. While RGB lighting may be ubiquitous these days, the T818 implementation of it is both striking and effective. The bottom of the T818 is a little less exciting than the sides and the top, but it is still impressive. It is very beefy, and it is made of metal with 4 sturdy mounting feet that have an M6 hole pattern. Unfortunately, the mounting pattern is unique, so you may have to purchase additional hardware if you want to mount it to an existing rig. That adapter will set you back $40, or you can always start measuring your deck and start drilling some holes. That isn't so bad now, is it? Overall, the T818 is a powerful and unique direct drive wheelbase that is well worth considering if you're in the market for a new base. Now, while it is made with some plastic components and it is a little bit pricey, it does have some design and some performance features that does make it stand out in the world of direct drive wheelbases. So you've got yourself a shiny new wheelbase, but what good is a wheelbase if you can't turn it? You still need a wheel rim. Now, if you're a Thrustmaster owner, you're in luck. The T818 does come with an adapter that you can use any previous Thrustmaster wheel rim on. Just install that adapter onto the wheel rim and put that on the quick release and you're up and running. Now, if you don't have a wheel to use already, you're going to have to shell out somewhere between $180 and $400 to finish off this kit. Now, if you're willing to wait a bit, the Ferrari-styled SF1000 wheel will be released this summer, and that wheel will be bundled with a special edition of the T818 for $1,099. And for those who want to switch between multiple wheels, you can buy additional adapters for $35 each. Personally, I'm sticking with an old wheel rim just to save some cash. The adapter comes in two different pieces. First, it's the insert, or center portion, that connects to the old wheel's DIN type connector. And then there's a threaded sleeve that holds it in place over the old plastic threaded connector. It's a simple conversion, but I have to admit, I hate that silly screw. It's easy enough to do, and it converts the wheel to the new 6-pin quick release system. Just keep in mind that all the pieces, except for the pins themselves, are made of hardened plastic. When it comes to connecting the wheel and the base together, the quick release is a hot topic in sim racing nowadays, and you have a bunch of different methods or ways of going about this. You've got the NRG style, or ones like the Q1R, which are both engineering marvels. But the new Thrustmaster quick release is just plain cool, simple, and works like a charm. To attach the wheel, you insert it into the keyed cross-shaped hole and close the lever, which activates a little lock lever or cam lever that holds the wheel firmly in place. The only downside is that everything except the lever is made of plastic. However, it feels sturdy, easy to use, and it's super fast. Just like any wheel on the market, you are going to need to download the software from the website of the company. So in this case, we go to Thrustmaster, we download the software, and we want to make sure that we are running the latest firmware. With this being such a new wheel, it actually did have all the latest firmware, so I didn't have to go through that. But luckily, with the Thrustmaster software, everything is really easy. They've been doing this a very long time. It is also a good idea to use the suggested settings provided for each game from Thrustmaster. This may vary depending on the size and weight of the wheel rim you're using with this base. And once you have everything set up, it's time to get down to business, driving. The Thrustmaster T818 in a lot of ways drives like no other wheel that I've ever used before. It is unique in the way it feels, for sure. It's a wheel that demands attention from the moment you lay your hands on it. And once you start driving, you won't want to stop. The first thing that struck us about the T818 was how smoothly it turned. There was no cogging effect, no jerkiness, no unwanted feedback whatsoever. It was as if the wheel was an extension of our own bodies. It was, in a word, natural. But the smoothness wasn't the only thing that impressed us. The force feedback on this wheel is out of this world. It's so precise and detailed that you feel every little bump and jolt in the road. You feel like you're actually driving a car rather than just sitting in front of a screen. And the built-in damper gives you a sense of realism that's simply unparalleled. It's a wheel that truly puts you in the driver's seat. Of course, every driver has their own preferences when it comes to force feedback. And while the default setting of 10 Newton meters might be too intense for some, it's easy to adjust to your liking. Once you've dialed it in, you'll be able to put in hours of driving without feeling fatigued with this wheel. But what really sets the T818 apart from its rivals is how natural it feels. Some direct drive wheels can feel harsh and abrupt, like you're driving a go-kart rather than a real car. But the T818 feels like an entire steering system. It's easy to make adjustments in sudden oversteer moments without overreacting and losing control of the car. And when you hit those larger bumps that impact the suspension, the T818 transmits those with just the right amount of damper, allowing you to make easy corrections without feeling like you're driving a jackhammer. Of course, no wheel is perfect, and compared to some of its competitors, the T818 does have a bit of flex, but it's a minor issue and one that's easily overlooked given how incredible the rest of the wheel is. If you're serious about virtual driving, the Thrustmaster T818 is a wheel that's worth its weight in gold. It's a wheel that delivers a driving experience that's truly second to none, and if you're anything like us, you'll be hooked from the moment you start driving. Alright folks, let's get ready to wrap up the driving portion of the show, but before we do, I do want to come back to software. Now I have tested a lot of wheels in my years of doing this, and I will say this is by far, the simplest software to use of any wheel that I've ever tested. You've only got a couple of adjustments to play with here. Rotation, which you can also tweak with the side buttons, and overall force and damper. That's it, folks. But wait, there's more. You can also customize the color of the hexagon light just for the sheer fun of it or to match the styling of your sim room. So what really sets this wheel apart from other wheels is its simplicity. I mean, you don't have to know anything when you have this wheel. A lot of people might be intimidated by complicated software and they just don't want to think about it. This wheel makes it simple. You just fire it up, adjust the level of power you want, and drive it. Thrustmaster has put in the hard yards to ensure that the force feedback delivery is top notch, so you don't have to fiddle around with the settings. It's all taken care of, so you can just focus on the joy of driving. And that, my friends, is what makes the T818 wheel a thing of beauty. So there you have it, everything that you need to know about the Thrustmaster T818 direct drive wheelbase. But to make it perfectly clear, we're going to break it down with the good, the not so good, and the bottom line, starting off with the good, and that being, it looks great. Very smooth. Not a harsh hitting direct drive wheel. Thrustmaster EcoSystem. Easy to use software. Backward and forward compatibility. RGB lighting, telemetry coming soon. Changeable color plates, cool addition. Cool quick release mechanism. Wireless wheel connection. Good variety of affordable wheels to choose from. Right amount of force feedback. And now on to the not so good. It is expensive. Plastic parts. Stupid lockdown screw. Come on, Thrustmaster. More flex than most DD systems. No 818 level wheels yet. No 818 level pedals yet. No side mount options. No console compatibility. Now on to the bottom line. When I first heard about this wheel from Thrustmaster, I was a little bit skeptical, I will admit that. But when I got it, and after driving on it, I will say that I was very impressed. Sure, having the plastic bits here and there isn't that impressive, but it really is what's under the hood that's important, and boy, does it come through when it comes down to driving. At 10 Newton meters of power, it's got just the right amount of oomph to make your driving experience truly immersive. And while the software may be simple, it is also effective, delivering force feedback in a way that just works. Now, I'm not going to lie, the Thrustmaster T818 does come with a hefty price tag. It is more expensive than some of its near competitors, but that's on the base. On the wheel side, Thrustmaster tends to be a little bit less expensive than their competitors, so in the end it kind of evens out, and you might even be able to get 2 wheel rims with the base for just a little bit more money than like the Logitech Pro wheel. And with future features like telemetry through the RGB lighting or future T818 level products like pedals or a wheel rim that actually is built for this quick release, I'm very excited about the future for this particular model of wheel. So I hope I've told you everything you want to know. Hopefully you've enjoyed this show. If you have, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up so we'll keep making more, and thank you for watching. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.